7 months ago, I took a break from making YouTube videos. And here's why. I have been in a pivot. So on my branding, my business, and my YouTube channel, I started off first with Divorce Happy Now, focusing on helping people navigate the divorce process. Everything from should I stay or should I go, which is discernment, to actually navigating it as amicably as possible, meaning no matter how bad the person they're divorcing is the devil, actually them being amicable regardless. Why? Because if you don't learn to be happy as you go through the divorce, you will not be happy when it's over. You won't. It doesn't ever happen. Because people jump into bed with their next lover and think they're their soulmate, and they wonder why it doesn't last. And then they go right back on social media talking about how awful men or awful men and women are, because they aren't willing to do any of the work. So that was my first passion not the first passion, but that was where I first found a home where my techniques really saved people's lives and saved families. Because when I would teach you how to emotionally regulate through your divorce, that also meant you learned how to model for your children instead of fighting for them, because fighting for them is terrible. It's BS. When you fight for your children, you're crazy. Everything you do is psychotic. You show up in court and you seem dangerous, and you keep saying the other person's not safe when you're the one that shows up not safe. So learning to navigate the divorce process and emotionally regulate yourself as you go through it so that you can be safe for your own children means you focus on yourself. And with that result, when the divorce is over, you're actually really happy. Not just going out and saying on Facebook that you're happy, going out with your girlfriends or your guy friends saying you're happy, and then having a bunch of one-night stands that you're so ashamed of, you won't tell anyone, even your family, about. Because you have to be healthy as you navigate through situations in life, or else you don't change anything. The process repeats itself over and over again. So I found so much joy there. But something happened over these last 7 years of doing this. Even though I started to get attorneys to trust me and send me their referrals, about 5.5 years ago, something weird happened. These individuals, men and women, both parties, both sexes that I work with, would say to me about 3 or 4 months into the work, sometimes even shorter, sometimes a little later, but basically would say, "Hey, Anthony, I know I hired you for the divorce, but I got talked about something. I want to make it work." Now, I never had that intention. My intention was to help you navigate the process amicably for your children, because as a child of divorce, I have been impacted and seen that impact when I saw my mother go through a few divorces, and I've seen other people go through divorces and they never do their work. And that passes on to their children. And then when their children grow up, they do exactly what their parents did, not what their parents say. And I have seen that in my own life where I repeated patterns that I watched and observed my mother go through, thinking the next person would make up the difference. No, they never, ever, ever do. The work is always exclusively on ourselves. So this unintended impact of them changing their mind resulted in two things. One, they would save the marriage when they decided to. And the ones that didn't, they definitely 100% were amicable because they realized everything that they could do was on them, and they completely left their soon-to-be ex-spouse completely off the table of any responsibility whatsoever because they have to be good for themselves. They have to be happy, safe, secure mom or dad for their children. And the results have been miraculous. Either they get divorced and they're healthy, or they actually save the marriage. So that's when I started to do more relationship coaching, because the relationship with yourself is the most important and the only important thing that I think ever happens in your life. If you don't learn to be good with you, love yourself, right? The classic RuPaul quote, if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love anybody else? This is so true. If you don't love yourself and your relationship and your career and your parenting, you will constantly, and I constantly, look outside of myself for that validation, for that confirmation. And guess what happens when I don't get it? It's so easy to think that that person, that job is the problem. Because now I'm hypervigilant. Now I'm looking for red flags. I know what to look out for. That's the trap. So from divorce to relationships to really what we're talking about here is we're talking about a spiritual awakening process has been happening. True transformation only ever comes from within. It never comes from without. When it comes from something outside of you, it is a Band-Aid. It barely lasts a minute, if at all. And if I don't learn to do my work all the time, I will ruin everything around me and think it's them. And I'm really good at, and you're really good at, convincing others using facts and data to get everyone to agree with you. So yeah, from divorce to relationship to spiritual awakening to the fact that we eventually realize that we are creating our own reality. Yeah, we're not co-creating it. We're the actual creator of it. And this is where we run into more challenges with understanding, how do we package this? How do we exist in this illusion of the 3D, the illusion of the five senses? So my channel has gone through this transformational process over the last 4 or 5 years. I think my channel's been out. I have a little over 200 videos. It is monetized, but it's not bringing home the bucks. When I get a payment, I don't even know where it's coming from. Right? It's so few and far between. But that's not the point. The point is, I took a break because I don't know where to go with this channel anymore. The more open I started becoming with my clients, my prospects, that this was a spiritual process, the quicker the results happen. So in other words, I've never told a prospect, by the way, if you hire me for a divorce, you're probably going to change your mind. Why? Because if I did that, they would double down, right? If I told you right now that you're wrong about something, you would double down. You would give me a list of reasons for me to agree with you. And you would tell me if I don't agree with you that I'm toxic and I'm gaslighting you. But by the way, that's not a thing. I cannot gaslight anybody. I can only gaslight myself because that's my identity being affected by it. So if you're watching this, let's drop that weaponization of that term because you don't know what you're talking about. If you think someone can gaslight you, look in the mirror and understand that only you are capable of gaslighting yourself. Nobody else can. Period. So take it or leave it. That's the truth. That's what I've seen and my experience. So, and why am I so confident? Because I have seen couples who hate each other. I'll have to call mom back now. Who cheat on each other, who do awful things to the other person. And I've seen complete transformations and restorations and complete healing, sometimes completely overnight. So I don't want to hear that your story is so bad that it can't be repaired. one of my favorite books of all time, that one of the ones that changed my life, and I read like 25 years ago, Richard Bach's Illusions. He had a quote in there, and I hear this quote said often between other people I follow that are into the reality creation and spiritual awakening community, that if you argue when you argue for your limitations, you're right, they're yours. Right? So you can keep saying your story if you want to. You're always going to be right. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just telling you the truth of what I've seen hundreds of times working with people who have done the unforgivable and forgiven. Had the unforgivable done to them and learned to forgive, and vice versa. It all starts and ends with you. No one else is responsible for your healing. And the longer you think that you have to go through a process, you have to go to a breath workshop, you have to go on a retreat, join a men's group, join a women's group, join a different church, go to another course. When you and I think that we have to do something else to finally be happy and be healed, guess what? We're right. And it keeps getting further and further and further and further away from us. In other words, if you don't accept your healing right now, if you don't accept your worth right now, if you don't accept that you are a child of whatever you believe in, the Buddha, God, the universe, source, if you don't accept it right now, you never will actually attain it. And moreover, you won't ever realize you already are healed. So let's stop doubling down and weaponizing self-development. Let's stop chasing processes and epiphanies. You may have heard this term before too, this idea that all these processes and techniques that we're learning from therapy, from manifesting techniques, they're all permission slips. Now, if that doesn't make any sense to you, let me go a little deeper. The permission slip, it says, oh, well, if I'm aware that I need to do breath work because I heard and studied and read or went on a workshop that said trauma is stored in the body and it has to be released. Well, now that is a concession. That is now an idea in my conscious mind that now says, oh, well, then that means I can't let go of this trauma unless I do breath work. And next thing you know, you're spending $10,000 learning how to do breath work, or you're doing it on your own because you can't afford to, and it never goes away. You can do the breath work and have an experience and unlock a memory and keep going deeper and deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. And guess what? You'll dig your way all the way to the center of the earth and beyond. There is no bottom. Ask yourself this question if you're still listening. How many epiphanies have led you down a path of an organization, a different church, a different technique, different coach, different course, and you got the sensation and the belief of relief, but it didn't last? Meaning you had to keep going. You had to keep reading that book until you had to put the book down and buy another book. Fire that coach and hire another coach. Leave that community and find another one. And how many times did it feel like, oh, but this is the one? We do the same thing in our relationships. We're chasing ghosts. We're chasing epiphanies, chasing techniques and processes. Believe me, I've been there and done that. I have been a leader in the Methodist Church, and I'm an ordained minister. I have been a leader in metaphysical communities when I was younger. I'm a 25-year experienced Reiki practitioner, and I'm now a Reiki master. And I used to believe in the chakras, and they're great. But again, to believe I have to clear a chakra is also a limiting belief. Don't be trapped in what you know. Or else you'll know a whole lot. You'll look around, you'll be Eve, and you'll look down at you'll be standing on a core of apples, on a mountain of half-eaten apples. Put the apple down. You don't need to know anything else. You just have to accept and surrender. Period. Healing is instant if you allow it and notice it and claim it and declare it. When you get out of your own damn way, when I get out of my own damn way, my joy is there. Period. So, over the last 7 months, I took the website down. I told my divorce attorneys that I work with, don't send me any more clients unless they're still discerning. Well, that doesn't work because they only send them to me after they hire them for divorce. And I don't want to do that anymore. So I have been pivoting, and the website is almost done. Like, we're talking about a day or two away between it launching. And my ebook that I give my clients to help them emotionally regulate through divorce, I've now rebranded it as Relationship Rescue. It's the same processes. I teach the same process as people going through a divorce that are trying to save their marriage. It's the same work. There's no difference. I've tested it with hundreds of clients on both sides. So don't waste your breath arguing with me. When you say you're being abused, you're right. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? When you say you have trauma, you have trauma. Do you want to keep telling your first date that you were traumatized by your ex, or do you want to be in a relationship? I have had so many clients come to me after years of therapy, and they've said, you know what, Anthony, I am ready to drop the story. I don't know how to. Boom. They're perfect for me. I'm perfect for them. So here we are, 7 months after me making a video on YouTube, my last video on YouTube. And I've been so stuck because I'm writing these amazing scripts that are powerful. And everything I do to try and do them, it just comes out as garbage, comes out inauthentic. Everything on my computer stops working. I've tried scripting less and less and less, just down to bullet points. And fast forward to today. Today, I have spent probably 4.5 hours trying to record one script. And I have seen everything from the best video of my life and career, but the audio doesn't work. Then doing what I need to do to get back into alignment and calm down and chill out, and then come back to it. And all of a sudden, I can't get off of the word for word script, or it comes across as super presentational and slick, and the actor in me comes out, which is what I'm trying to get away from, because I know how to present well. So, am I surprised, frustrated, or can I just accept that right now I have been cussing at the computer, and I literally, before I edit this and start from where I start at the beginning of the video, before I did this, I was cussing at the camera, cussing into this microphone. And I just decided to start talking. Now, what does that mean? It really lends to the idea that our assumptions are creating our reality. My self-identification is manifesting through the mirror, through the holographic universe. It's real. The more effort and care and attention to make sure that I have a good video for you that makes sense, that lands, that is either A, going to make me some money, or B, get me some clients, or C, at least impact one person. Any effort at all now seems like the wrong thing to do. Because here I am, I'm not saying a single word that I pre-wrote earlier today. I can tell you right now, I am going completely off script, no script whatsoever. And I feel like I'm rambling. But I'm done. It's time for me to do what I teach my clients. And it's this, to care less. Now, let me talk about that real quick. We're not saying to not care. So if you're a parent and you're going through challenges, or you're a lover and you're going through challenges in a relationship, or you're having a problem at work, and you care a lot, that means we're bringing a lot of intensity and pressure to ourselves and the world around us. And since we are living in a holographic experience of reality, the harder I push everything away. And I've seen that over and over and over and over again. Now, is it a little scary to let go of caring? Yes. But again, it's about the nuance. It's not that I don't care. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't care. I'm saying whatever you're struggling with in life, just try caring a little less, meaning pull back. Take a breath. Step away to get some healthy detachment and distance from the problem, right? Because if you stare into the darkness, you're going to get one thing: more darkness. Look at it, be aware, and then pivot the heck away from it. Flip the script. You are the writer, actor, and director of everything you experience. Now, I know it can be hard if this is new for you, or you're even advanced. I mean, I've been triggering myself all damn day trying to make a freaking video. And now I'm just in flow state, vomiting. Whether it's good or bad, I'll figure that out later when I review the video. Or maybe I don't review the video. Maybe I'll just post it. I don't know. There's no plan at this point. I just am breaking this stuck place I've been. Because here's why. Since I have pivoted to focusing more on saving relationships versus divorce navigation, the work has blown up. The clients are showing up ready to work on themselves to heal their marriage. It's amazing. We're saving lives. We're saving families. And there are many things I've experienced where I've always thought that this is my life's work, and this is truly my life's work, because it's all coming through the veil or the lens of ministry. And that was the very first job I ever wanted when I was a kid. I had a passion and wanted to be a minister. I saw myself standing and healing people with my words. Now, that's been a challenge because my generation, I grew up in, you had to pick a team. I had to choose a church, had to choose a denomination, and I had to go get some kind of piece of paper to say that I could do that. Well, that is also a limitation. That in itself is a disempowering belief system. And if you're anything like me, which if you're watching, you probably are, I had my first awakening awareness around the age of 10 or 11. I saw the hypocrisy all around me. I saw people of faith only lean into their faith when it was convenient. So what does that look like? It looks like they were only speaking from faith whenever they were giving someone advice. But whenever they were hurt themselves, oh no, I want to kill somebody, right? I never saw anyone turn the other cheek. I never saw a human being in my life growing up turn the other cheek. And now I teach people to turn the other cheek, which, by the way, is not about getting a slap in the face and then turning and letting them hit you on the other one. It's about turning your cheek. See, I'm seeing the camera slightly different, which again leans to the fact that how you look at reality changes reality. So the next time you think your life is fixed, your partnership is fixed, your relationships are fixed, meaning in a fixed position of reality and time and space, turn your perspective. And don't be surprised how surprising your life changes immediately when you and I drop our assumptions of reality. So that means stop talking to your friends and family about all your problems with your partner. Stop going on social media to get validation. Don't go to court to get validation because it ain't going to happen. I know that some of you out there, if you're on I know some people out there on Facebook who will win in court, whatever the heck that means, and then share it on social media and then hire me because they're miserable and want to kill themselves because now they're sleeping with strangers because they can't feel anything. They feel such deep shame because they were just riding the high of the trigger that they were not willing to control. You are so powerful. You create everything in your life. We go from creator to victim consciousness, just like that. And what I want to share before I try to close this out, because I have no idea how long I've been recording, is this. My goal right now is to either start a new channel or B, change the way I make videos on my current channel, because I'm kind of done with helping people break through on mundane issues and then realize that like everything is their creation, right? I want you to realize that whatever it is that you're facing, especially your relationship challenges, that is the catalyst for you finally accepting just how divine you've always been. I want you to hear, if nothing else out of this video, you're already saved. When we say God is in you, that means you are God. When we say source is within you, it means you are source. Stop only accepting your faith when it's convenient. If you're a person of faith, then act like it. Which means when you say forgive, you also must forget. When Jesus forgave somebody, it was instant, and he would forget their transgressions. Don't be a basic, mundane, meat suit human being that says, oh, I forgive you, but I'm watching for you to make a mistake again. That's not the same thing. If you're looking for red flags, you will always find them. If you're looking for green flags, you will always find them. Why? Because heaven and hell exist at the exact same moment in space and time. All you need to do is choose and choose and choose and choose again. Cast the net again. And if you don't want to, that's okay. But don't blame anyone outside of you, because you and the Creator are one. God wants what you want. There is no separation. So that's it. Broke the 7-month cold spell. If you like the video, great. If not, that's okay too. I'm back. This is Anthony Cortino, Sacred Cobra. Stay tuned. The ebook is coming out. The website's coming out. Have new coaching programs and have a live show that's going to be streaming on 20 different platforms as soon as I'm finally ready to do it. They've already approached me. I'm the one slowing the process down. So with that being said, love yourself. You are sacred. You are worthy. You are love. We'll see you next time.